You know that quiet moment at the end of the day when all the noise fades and what's left is just shame? Not because you did something wrong, but because you did nothing at all. Today, we're going to get into why that feeling exists and why Carl Jung believed your undisciplined self isn't lazy. It's actually an exile.
So let's just start right there with the big question. Are you actually lazy? Or is it possible that the most structured, the most powerful, the most ambitious part of you is just in hiding, waiting for you to come find it? This isn't about another motivation hack. This is about a psychological truth that runs much, much deeper. And this quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it. Jung basically suggested that what we call procrastination isn't just laziness, it's a profound spiritual rejection. It's this incredibly elaborate strategy we use to avoid the massive responsibility of becoming who we're truly meant to be.
So let's talk about that feeling, that strange resentment you feel when you look in the mirror. It's not because you hate yourself, right? It's because you just don't believe yourself anymore. You make a vow to change, you feel it in your bones, and then the next morning, that person who made the vow is completely gone. Okay, so here's the crucial point. The whole reason we're here, the lack of discipline you're feeling, that's not the actual problem. It's just a symptom. The real disease is an internal fracture, the split in your psyche, where one part of you makes these amazing goals, and another part of you systematically, almost methodically, tears them down. And this brings us to a trap that I think we all fall into, thinking that discipline is just about gritting your teeth and trying harder. We've been taught to believe it's this huge battle of willpower, but honestly, that's a fight most of us are designed to lose from the start. And this, right here, this highlights a massive shift in perspective. The old way, the old fight, frames discipline as this constant, exhausting battle of willpower. But the new understanding is a total game changer. See, discipline isn't something you add to your life like a new app. It's a reflection of who you are. It's about getting into alignment, not just putting in more effort. It's about becoming someone, not just doing something.
And this is the fundamental law. You can write this down. Your behavior will always, and I mean always, default to the person you secretly believe you are. You simply cannot hustle your way past a negative self-image. If deep down you see yourself as the person who always messes it up or never finishes, then guess what? You'll keep living that reality no matter how hard you work.
So the big question is, where did this negative self-image even come from? It wasn't an accident. To really get it, we need to trace things back. We have to figure out how your most powerful, most disciplined self got pushed into hiding in the first place. Jung's wisdom here is basically our map. The self-sabotage you call fate, or maybe you just say, that's just the way I am, that's actually your unconscious mind running a script it wrote a long, long time ago. If you want to change the script, you first have to make it conscious. You have to read it out loud. So think back for a second. Maybe when you were a kid, you got really excited about a project, and someone you looked up to just mocked you for it. Or maybe you tried to create some structure in your life and your friends told you to loosen up or that you're being too serious. An act of discipline was performed, right? But it was met with some kind of social pain. And so that disciplined part of you, what Jung might call the king archetype, the part that rules and creates order, it went into hiding to protect you. So the solution here isn't to declare war on your lazy side. It's actually to understand its purpose and integrate it. This is about a return to the throne you abandoned. It's a process of becoming whole again. I want you to imagine two figures inside you right now. First, there's the sovereign, or the king. This part of you craves order, structure, legacy. But then there's the protector, and this is the part you've been calling lazy. Its only job is to shield you from the pain of past failures and ridicule. You see, they're not enemies. They are two parts of you that have been separated and just need to be brought back together. This leads to this really powerful concept called psychological architecture. It's simple. Your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world. That messy room, that chaotic schedule, that overflowing inbox. Look, these aren't just logistical problems. They are external signs of a fractured internal order. And they reveal a pretty painful truth. When you lack discipline, you don't just lose time, you lose your identity. So the mental shift here is everything. An immature mindset says, I'm broken and I need to be fixed. But a mature mindset says, no, I am already whole. I've just forgotten who I am. I must be remembered. You see the difference? This isn't about adding something new. It's about returning to your true self. And this brings us to the end of the road, the final and probably the most important part of this journey. Because every single day, you face a choice that will define your future.
the choice between ritual and regret.
Jung just cuts right to the bone with this one, doesn't he? You don't need anyone else to tell you who you are. Your actions are already shouting it from the rooftops every single day. And that's not meant to be harsh, it's meant to be a mirror.
And this is the real cost. Time doesn't just pass by, it accumulates. Every time you hit that snooze button, every time you scroll past your own promise, every time you choose cheap comfort over meaningful work, you're not just losing a moment. You are actively building a life, brick by brick, that's shaped by inaction.
But here's the beautiful part. When you realign, discipline completely transforms. It stops being a chore and it becomes a ritual. It becomes this sacred rhythm you create with your days, a way of honoring time and honoring your own potential. It's the decision to wake up not because you have to, but because you get to. You get to meet your oath again, starting with that very first intentional act of the day. And here's the final tangible step. To fully step into this new person, you have to let the old one go. The one who breaks his word, the one who hides. But you don't bury him with guilt. You do it with honor. You acknowledge him. You thank him for protecting you, for getting you this far. And then, with respect, you let him rest. So, the king has returned to the throne. Your inner house is in order. You've stopped living as a reaction to the past, and you're finally ready to live as a declaration of your future. The only question left is, what will you build?